Hey everybody, welcome to Real Life No Sci-Fi with Wade and Willie. I'm Wade.
I'm Willie.
And this is this the first time we've ever had a guest on the
I
on No
think so,
Sci-Fi?
right?
Okay, we've got a guest. He's our good friend from our old alma mater, Colorado State University, stand-up comedian. And I don't know how to fucking do this. The intros on the other show are so much better, but this is like a dry run. Go to bellylaughscomedy.com. You can find all of his stuff. I said stand-up comedian. See, I had it in the right order. All right. It's Amir Yaz. What's up?
How's it going, guys? Thank you for having me on. It's good to see you guys again. I'm excited about today. It'll be fun.
Yeah. So I overheard you're in Virginia. Is that what you said?
Yeah, Arlington, Virginia, I guess. Recently, we're best known for the helicopter and the plane crash at Reagan Airport. That's like 2 miles from me.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, just right there, right outside DC.
Good job, man. You did it.
Not,
Are
not,
you from out east? Where were you from before CSU?
Yeah, Northern Virginia. Like, but I guess
Okay.
they call it the DMV, Northern Virginia,
Mhm.
right around there.
And you're doing comedy and shit, huh?
Yeah, started 2005. I did it because I always wanted to do it. Scared the hell out of me, and then I was hooked.
Really?
It
I've never done it.
it kills your self-esteem. It's like when the crowd laughs, it makes you feel really good. When you don't get the laugh, it just like kills your self-esteem. You just want to keep chasing the laugh. It's like a drug addiction kind of thing.
Yeah, I started late doing stand up also. I should have done it years ago. I probably would have been able to get on bigger shows because we had so many friends running shows. All the shows ended and I started doing stand up. And then like I'll go to places that are like kind of rough where like half the crowd's kind of making fun of me. And I'm like, oh, well, this is how it is. Like we're our bar or Demorge, like that part of town's pretty rough, and half the people aren't there for a comedy show; they're just there.
Ambush comedy.
I feel like if I did stand-up comedy, I would like commit suicide. I really don't think it would be good for me at all. Oh man, even when like videos I make bomb, I'm just like, it's ruined me for like way too long. I just, I just, I just, ugh. I hate the idea of it, of stand up. Oh God, it sounds awful.
Dude, one of the first things I did was this is when I was fresh, and I don't think I think people assumed I probably was more weathered than any. I signed up for 20-minute show, and I didn't have a set or material, so I did the show, and then like, I was just kind of mumbling through. I drank too much, and I was mumbling through just embarrassing experiences, and then at the end of the show, people came up to me like, "Oh, you should keep doing it." Because they could tell that I was just green, you should keep. It's just something you don't want to hear after
Dude, I know
doing
that
it
would
20
would
minutes.
destroy me. I would be like, no, fuck that. And also 20 minutes when you're new, how would the hubris of doing that, dude?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'll be cool, and then I just bombed my way through it. I mean, it's a good experience to know that, like, oh shit, I should have some jokes. I should have some shit written out.
Yeah, I think maybe jokes would be a good idea for doing stand-up comedy. Could be.
There's so many ramblers these days.
Mm, those those aren't the ones you want to aspire.
I'm a
Um,
one-liner and a pun guy. So it's like very kind of cerebral but stupid. You got to think a long way to get nowhere, kind of. So I don't know, that's a lot of where my mind goes. I have a lot of stories from my personal life, but I think like sometimes like a lot of it's too dark to make funny. So when I tell it, it kind of comes off like shock humor-ish. So I like going like a child with a lot of confidence, kind of just like dad jokes on steroids is my brain.
uh-huh. One-liners are the worst though, because you have to write so much more than everybody else.
I, I like the idea, just the construct of like writing something so stupid. Like a lot of people, a lot of my friends are like, "I love you, but I hate one-liners," and I hate dad jokes. But like, if you can make someone laugh at something they don't like it's kind of like it's just a challenge, I guess. Like, I hate you, but that was funny, or that's so stupid, it was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So how often do you get to go up?
Uh, Now that I'm older, I started at 25, did it for 3 years, got married, divorced, quit for 7 years, came back at 35. Now I do it probably only about twice a month. But when I first started was like 3 to 5 times a week. I want to get back into it more hardcore and get back to producing. But it like to get better, it should be like minimum 3, 4 times a week. Because if I do anything less than that, it kind of feels like I'm starting over again every time I go
Yeah,
up.
yeah. We play basketball once a week, and it's like, what am I even doing this for? Like, I can't get in shape once a week, so now I just don't ever go.
Yeah, and then like once a week doesn't help your shot.
No, I don't. Yeah, who knows? It's all muscle memory. If it can come back, great. But if I was learning basketball for the first time, I don't think once a week would do it. Is there a lot of venues that you can go up out there?
I think what's happening right now with comedy, like in DC and New York, and it kind of all over, is like it's oversaturated. Like there's a lot of
Really?
comedians that become producers and put on like showcase style shows where you just get there's too much of it. So you get a lot of comics on paid shows that shouldn't, let's say, be on a show. So you really have to kind of dig to find like something that's like where you're getting a good entertainment, I guess. But you
Right.
can definitely find a show to get on.
How much are shows? $10, $20?
They range from pay what you want to pay, $5, 10, 15. The DC Improv's right down the street. They have shows from like 20 to 30. So I think if you're a bar show charging 20, it's going to be harder to, that like a couple, when someone goes to a comedy show, typically it's either going to be for the first time or a first date, or it's harder to get repeat customers. So if you're charging 20, it's so typically like 5, 10.
And then the
Comedy
drinks,
shows,
the two drink minimums and shit, or not?
For bar shows,
They
not
just
really,
you just
but
will drink.
yeah. As long as they show up and the host says drink, 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 pay, like yeah, it's
comedy show is a rough date night because you don't get to talk much. You have to be quiet. You're drinking and you have to like time out going to the bathroom while people are doing comedy. And if you come back at the wrong time, you end up being pointed out. And then at the end of the night, you usually want to be funny. And if you're not as funny as everything you saw, it's like you're the bad closer.
Every time I go on a date to a comedy show, I always make sure to get drunk and heckle a bunch. And then the guy always calls me like a Nazi. And then I leave. But I do it for his YouTube, you know. I'm just trying to, but the date never
Support.
works out. Yeah, I'm like, well, he'll get a lot of hits if I say a bunch of shit. And then he has to confront me about my racism.
I think like for a person like me, if I were going on a date, like on stage, I'm a firecracker, but outside of that, like I'm a huge introvert. Like I don't like being around big crowds of people, stuff like that. So if I'm bringing a girl to a comedy show, then the comedian's the funny person. As long as I don't screw up at the end, like they do the work. I guess I don't know. It
I've
takes a while for me to warm up.
I don't think I would ever take a date to a stand-up show ever. Not unless we're in a relationship, but a date, ugh.
Not like a first date. That'd probably be horrible. But
It'd be like going to a movie. Only it might suck. It might be really bad.
you can walk out of a movie. You can't walk out of a comedy show because they'll all see you leaving.
Oh, you can. You can, especially a bar one, right? You just act like you're getting a drink or something.
Yeah.
I haven't been, dude, I don't even know what the scene's like out here anymore. So they're still doing stuff at our bar?
I don't know if they are. I know Demorge had a show within the last couple months, and I just missed it. But it seemed like it was the same place. But it's not a consistent show anymore. I feel like he just does specials there.
Yeah, all the ones I used to know of were like backyard things and stuff. And I haven't even I don't think I've been invited to a comedy show since like COVID. I just figured that nobody was doing them. Plus, yeah, we're old now. So like comedians are all like 23.
Yeah. See, we used to go. it was easy for us because we could show up to most comedy shows. We had a bunch of friends running shows, and we just show up in the back for free and kind of not sit and watch everything happen and get drinks. And I'd always float into the green rooms because I knew enough people, so it felt like I was a part of the scene and didn't have to do stand up.
I will say here, it's kind of for going to shows that there's a lot of there's tons of comedians, tons of shows to go watch, to go kind of like if you want to get on a show, there's not a shortage. And it's really competitive in the sense that like in any kind of creative atmosphere, you get like, like high school kind of behavior. But at the same time, if you attach yourself to good people, it's real nurturing. Like if you hang around a comic that's like the same style as you or whatever, so you can kind of push each other. But I'm 43 now. Like it's like you were saying, where you like, it's harder for me to connect with the crowd where I'm telling jokes. I'm like, I don't know half of it, like Riz and stuff like that. I have to kind of like retrain what I say to kind of connect with all these people. I'm like,
please don't ever say Riz.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's so unnatural to me. All that stuff.
No, it's never gonna feel natural. I don't think. Like, not the way Radical does.
No.
I've never heard Riz before, so I'm even.
Riz is just charisma. They shortened it.
Oh, because you did talk about that. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. That's where I feel my age, like all the acronyms and all. I go home and I Google it in my car, kind of like it's bad.
Did you have kids when you were married or not?
No. Thankfully not.
Childless.
Because
do you have friends with kids? Because that's who I go to. I go, tell me about this skibbity toilet thing. And they're like, it's kind of funny, I guess. And I'm like, but it's stupid, right? And they're like, well, it's stupid when the boys do it because they're all girls. I'm like, yeah, boys are annoying. And they're like, yeah, it's funny when the girls do it. I'm like, yeah, cool. I get it. Like, I don't really get it at all. Skibbity and fucking, they changed alpha. Now Sigma is alpha, right? So Sigma is alpha. I don't know. It's all confusing. I think there's Ohio is a part of it somehow. Ohio.
Yeah, I think Ohio being stupid. I don't know. But I'll tell you this, like with a lot of my like dad jokes that I tell, my friends' kids love my act. They're like, you're so funny. Everyone is like, you're so stupid. So my target market's between like 5 and 10.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, just wear a funny suit, and just be a new. Kids don't have stand-ups, huh? Just be a kid stand-up. Be like the world's first kid stand-up. Just go on. I mean,
it's actually possible now.
Yeah.
What's weird now in the stand-up world is you see it where like there's YouTube comedians, you know what I mean? People that are headlining like the DC Improv, Laugh Factory, they get famous from YouTube, where it's kind of like or I guess the big trend now is like after, Matt Rife is like a bona fide stand-up, but he was the first, like he did stand-up for over 10 years before like he got famous from TikTok and all the crowd work, but like he has an actual act. So all the younger comics, they emulate just doing crowd work. That's not an act. Like tell jokes, learn it. So it's kind of like, that's what all the comedians do now. If they're going to post things, they don't want to give away the cow. What is it? The milk or the cow for free kind of thing. So they post the crowd work, but not their act. So,
right.
So I don't know.
Dude, people don't like Matt Rife, right? Like in the community, isn't he kind of like a piece of shit or something? Allegedly, I don't know. I don't want to slander the man.
I've heard a couple bad stories, but
I think it all depends on like, I mean, he's good looking, so like guys are gonna have something to say about it. And I mean, it's like anytime anyone has any kind of success, like he's not my cup of tea, but I'll say from a business perspective, he's learned how to leverage like getting people to come out to his shows and stuff like that. Like in his
I get it. Like we like Dane Cook. I mean, we've suffered through like bad comedian. I get it. I just think the first time I ever heard of him, it was some kind of negative thing, and I've just always attached it. But I don't think I've ever watched him.
I saw his in his stand-up special. Like he had like it was kind of like a punching down thing, like making fun of like mentally challenged people or whatever, something like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, who am I? Like I'm not.
Yeah, I know. And he was definitely one of the first Facebook comedians. They pushed him really big on Facebook. It was before TikTok, and like um there are rumors about how he got that, but you know,
What are the rumors? They suck dick?
somebody was saying
Allegedly?
there's like a bigger comedian who came out and was talking about how he got offered to be the Facebook comedian, but he didn't want to do a bunch of the stuff that they were telling him to do. And in the meeting also was Matt. It's like some comedian was spilling the beans. I forget who it was, but it was like a bigger comedian.
Like with
Bigger,
Facebook?
yeah.
The meeting was with Facebook,
the
and they're like,
meeting
we're
was
gonna.
with whoever owned like their agency had a deal, and they paid to push him on Facebook.
Got it.
It was about the agents.
CAA, if you're wondering. I've got his Wikipedia up here. But anyway, enough about him. So we just did our annual dress up like morons and go to a bar and take a picture that we do every year. This year it was pirates. Will anything funny happen? I always get too drunk at these things. I don't remember going home. And then I just laid on Tony's floor for like a few hours, I think.
The bar we were supposed to go to closed last minute, and so we went to this other place, which is basically a pirate themed bar. So
It's like a tiki bar, yeah.
tiki bar, yeah, and it's dressed, yeah, more like a pirate bar than a tiki bar. I thought,
I didn't notice, I guess.
and all the everyone there, I think, thought that we were going to do something for them. It's like, oh,
God.
what are
Why
these
would
guys doing?
Just the 20 drunk maniacs in the corner are going to put on a show
Yeah.
for you? Like, what would that be?
Right? Like Hooters happy birthday song or something.
Just caroling only with old boat songs,
Yeah.
old sailor
So everybody
songs.
had to, they wanted to use the bathroom, they had to squeeze through our mess.
You didn't, yeah, you rode home with us, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because then everyone went and played games. I felt bad about not going. I don't know. I don't know who went.
Was it
Yeah.
intentional that you went to a pirate bar dressed as pirates, or like kind of?
It was like we had a friend who knew the guy who owned it or managed it or something. And because it was so last minute, he was like, well, okay, yeah, we have this other room. We can take the picture in there. So it wasn't intentional. It was going to be, usually it's just a nothing wall behind us. This time it was, I don't even know what was back there. Plants?
Yeah. This room was kind of like it's kind of, I don't know what this room is for, because it was empty, and you have to go through that room to get to the restaurant tiki bar, because it's a restaurant also. Maybe
That room,
like
every time
giant
I've been
waiting
there,
room.
that room has not been opened. You just go straight into the bar.
And it's a huge, I don't know, what do you call that, the opening room of a house?
Foyer.
Yeah, it's like a foyer to a restaurant. I mean, it's like a big space that you just have to like not walk through.
Yeah, but I guess it's pretty uneventful. I did talk to Drew about his I was telling you and Kelsey last week about the demographic results, and how like young men, it was a 17% favorable. Remember when I was talking about that?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I talked to him. It was a typo, so that's not it.
Oh, okay.
It was
Okay.
so our whole conversation about privileged white men didn't
Wasn't
didn't
real.
mean anything because apparently it's the same. So, did you see it, Amir?
No, not yet.
Well, you
Where can I
gotta.
find
I
it?
mean, it's not even going to be in theaters for. You gotta go. You gotta go.
I'll go this weekend.
What's a movie out there? $5? Make it happen.
20.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah.
Every place is the same. It's insane how much movies are.
Yeah.
So, what's it like being there right in the crux of a coup, of a political coup that's happening right under your nose? Do you pay attention to that shit?
I try not to. It's not good for mental health. It's kind
Hmm.
of like, dude, our democracy is crumbling. You can't do anything. So it's kind of like, do you bitch and complain about it? Like
Oh yeah. You just
from a
got to let
mental
it go.
space, I don't want to post anything about it because I really get all conspiracy laden in my head about like digital trails of anything I say. So I get just
I
I'm not going
know.
to say anything to anyone.
Well, Willie's main man, RFK, wants to put anyone with a fucking antidepressant into a work camp, Willie. So thank you very much.
It's nothing's real till it happens.
Uh-huh. Well, once it happens, you can come break me out, I guess, because I'm going to be doing all the farming that the illegals used to do.
Right. I don't even I don't know what I believe anymore. I feel like each side is skewing everything so hard. Like, you know what? They're doing this. They're doing this. And I'm like, they haven't done anything yet.
Well, they've done a lot, but
No, I know.
who
But
cares? Who cares? It's just funny. I just didn't know, like, living out there, if it's amplified or not,
A
or if it's
hundred
just kind
percent.
of, is it?
Yeah, like, and I mean anything. Every election cycle, whether it's House of Representatives, Senate, any of the presidential stuff, every day it's so pervasive. Like on all the news channels, all the local news, you can't get away from it. So I kind of just watch a lot of Food Network and a lot of Comedy Central.
What's your Food Network show?
Best thing I ever ate.
I don't like that one because that's the one where they describe eating, right? I hate people describing eating. It's so gross to me. It's like someone describing sex. It's like I don't want to like secondhand this through you. You know what I mean?
That and it's going on
especially
TV, so you don't know if it's really as good.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know.
I'm a Guy Fieri guy. I like diners, dive-ins, and dives because you can do your work. It's just kind of on in the background. You look up every once in a while, and it either looks disgusting or really good, and that's it. And you don't need anything else. You can just look up and see weird foods.
I don't watch. What was that Andrew Zimmern? Was it Bizarre Foods or Disgusting Foods, where he's eating like just like animal entrails and stuff?
Oh, the man versus food guy, right?
No, it's called Bizarre Foods with Andrew Zimmern. Like
I thought he was the man. Isn't he the man versus food guy?
that it used to be Adam Richman, and now it's
Oh,
Casey. And I hate that I know all their names, so I'm going to pretend like I don't.
wait,
Yeah, I
what's
have
this
no
guy's
idea.
name? I'm gonna look him up, see if I recognize him.
Casey, Adam Richman was the OG, and
No,
then
no, no, the guy you're talking about now.
Andrew Zimmern. Like he'll go
Andrew
to
Zimmern.
Ecuador and he'll eat guinea pig. He'll eat like snail eggs or like just like not snail eggs, but
Yeah, I know this guy.
disgusting stuff.
I don't like his face. And so I definitely don't want to see his face eating disgusting stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
His
and
face, man. I don't know.
he's an open mouth chewer. I'm one of that. Like I can't take
Are you
open mouth
kidding me?
chewing.
Oh my
Mm.
gosh, me neither.
Oh, it's the worst. Even it like I'll extend it to gum. If someone's open mouth chewing gum, like no, it's
Well,
I'm
but
not,
okay, but if I open mouth chew gum around you, it's like a cool guy character and you'll love it.
like from the
Yeah, it's
80s,
there's
kind of with
purpose
his
to
foot
it.
on the
Yeah.
wall. Sorry, go ahead.
I only like. I was just saying. There's purpose to it. I like watching Gordon Ramsay's, but that show's been off for so long. I used to
Which
watch
one?
uh any of them, but I mostly like the one where he.
Kitchen
Uh,
Nightmares is back.
oh, is it really?
Yeah. But
I
it's a
love
Fox show. We're talking Food
that
Network.
show. Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay's not a Food Network guy, man. You can't. That's like a
Oh,
different
I'm just saying,
brand.
cooking. I used to watch
No,
the.
it's like saying some DC guy when we're talking about Marvel. You can't do that.
All right, I used to watch the battles with Kat Kura and the old school.
World's Worst Cooks.
No, the professional chefs where they get like there's a kitchen face off. It
Top
was
Chef.
yeah, I used to watch Top Chef.
Wait, is it Top Chef?
Maybe
Because
not.
that's like an A&E
This one
show.
was Asian. It was an Asian
Oh, oh,
themed.
oh, you mean Iron Chef?
Yeah, Iron Chef. That's it. That was Food
Okay.
Network, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I
There's
also
a
used to hate watch The Chew.
What's the chew?
It's probably not a Food Network show. I don't
Oh,
know
I
which
was just
channels.
joking about that. What's the chew? I don't know. I don't know.
It's they have a talk show while they cook, and they're just really annoying.
Oh, is it like for women? Is it just the talk only with food? They're like, how can
Yes.
we? Okay, I've never heard of it. You know what you would like if you like all the stars? You got to watch Tournament of Champions. Guy Fieri hosts the Tournament of Champions, and there's like 30 chefs, and you've heard of all of them. And they do like a head-to-head battle bracket style.
That's cool. Do you know
It's
who
very
Carla
cool.
Hall is?
Mm-mm.
Okay. She's like the main host of the Chew, and she was also on what's this the Harry Potter one you turned me on to? I watched a couple episodes.
I turned you on to it. All I did was stick up for it because I knew that you had. I recognize Carla Hall. I recognize her. She's cool.
I don't buy her,
Um,
man.
you don't like her?
No, she like on the Harry Potter show, she's like they have to like when people make their
Amir, do you know about this
creations.
Harry Potter show? Willie was really mad because it's a Harry Potter show and it's hosted by the two twin red-haired boys, from the other family, from Ron Weasley, from the
The
Weasleys,
Weasleys, yeah.
the twin Weasleys. Yeah, have
Hmm.
you not seen a Harry Potter?
I haven't read a book. I haven't seen one movie.
It's almost unbelievable. It's like this next generation Star Wars, and
Yeah.
you kind of just need to know about it, dude. I mean, like, it could help your one-liners a little bit if you threw out "You're a wizard, Harry" every once in a while, right? Like, giving you the hackiest advice. No,
Yeah.
but there's these two twins, and they host it, and it's all like it's basically like Ace of Cakes. It's a cake show, right? And they just decorate the cakes like Harry
Yeah.
Potter style.
Uh-huh.
This is a
And
dragon,
so like
stuff like
the
that.
re- the whole point of the show is that I didn't like it because I'm like, I'm the Harry Potter cooking show. What the fuck is this? Turns out these guys couldn't get any work, so they because after doing Harry Potter, they're just the Harry Potter guys. So they made a Harry Potter cooking show.
I
I'm
mean,
like,
could you imagine being a twin, not named Mary Kay or Ashley, and like trying to be an actor? Like when you're famous for being a twin acting, it's like huge mistake, man. I mean, good, you made your money on Harry Potter, but like, yeah, take the cooking show, but really just like find a new thing, man, because this isn't going to happen. Like, how often are people casting like gross ginger twins? Gross British pale ginger. Like that's not in the cards. You're not going to be able to play anybody.
Yeah.
there was
If I were
this
them, I would write a story about like cloning or something like that. Like you gotta just like I don't know, you gotta Matt Damon it and fucking. Oh, speaking of Matt Damon,
yeah, that's
are you guys
great.
excited about the Odyssey? Fucking Christopher Nolan is making the Odyssey, and Matt
Oh,
Damon is Odysseus, and I saw he was in it, but I didn't know he was the fucking guy.
that does sound cool, dude. That
Well,
sounds awesome.
fuck. I mean, we'll see, but that it's gonna be one movie. Like that book. I mean, how do you make one movie out of that book? It goes. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Do you
10
think
hour
he's gonna do a
movie.
bunch? Huh?
10-hour movie, three intermissions.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a trilogy at least.
I don't think so. It's Christopher Nolan. Like he's not gonna. He doesn't do that shit. He's not gonna be like, I need a Odyssey franchise, right?
Yeah,
It'll go
maybe
for
not.
3 hours and it'll say to be continued. And you go back and watch the second part of it, part two, part three.
Uh, I hope not. I can't even watch Wicked because I found out it was in two parts. I'm not gonna watch two parts of Wicked.
I
Oh my
didn't know
god, I
that.
can't watch musicals. Ugh.
What if they're good? What about Grease?
Grease is the only like the one I like. Maybe I only like old ones because I love Grease, but Grease 2, no.
Well, but Grease 2 is a bad movie.
I like Grease and I like Popeye, and that's and then old Disney cartoons, which I count as musicals because there's so many songs in them. That's it.
That's just what these are. Frozen. It's just a
Yeah,
Disney.
Frozen was
It's
all
just
right. I was, but live action not so much. I was watching a movie, and Tom Cruise started singing in a record store, and I made noises out loud while I was shutting it off.
okay. Well, I think you're talking about Across the Universe,
No, it was
right? Is that the
called Rock on Rock.
Oh, that thing? Yikes. No, I don't think anyone liked that movie. Rock of Ages?
I think so.
Jack Black.
No.
School
I
Rock.
mean,
Wrong
Yeah, what
rock
about School of
movie.
Rock? I think you do like musicals. I think you're just like you got this weird recency bias against musical. I don't know. It's weird. What about like what about like the classics? Uh Gone with the Wind, is that a musical? I've never seen it.
There's a lot of
uh,
singing.
I watched the first VHS tape in the 90s, and I was like, do we need to put the other two in?
There's three.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, no, that's a pass.
Little
Amir,
Shop
you
of Horrors. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, of course he likes you do, right? You like Little Shop of Horrors. You're one of those guys.
That's my
uh,
favorite.
Everyone loves
did
that
like
movie,
it.
but me, I hate it. I hate it so much. And I feel like I'm an alien or something because everybody I know, and I only hang out with comedians, they all love it, like top 10. And I'm like, it's disgusting, dude.
Rick Moranis, man, come on.
I know.
Listen,
Rick
I love
Moranis is
Rick
one of my favorite
Moranis, but
actors, and so I think I'd give it so many passes because I don't like Steve Martin's character in it.
The dentist.
he's just the dentist, right? Isn't it just one
Yeah,
scene with him?
yeah, but the most I think that scene is out more than a lot of Rick Moranis' scenes, like in clips.
Whoever does the voice of the plant, I'm not into it. I don't like it. It was a play, right?
They turned it into a play, I think, Broadway or off
Did it?
Broadway.
So it started as a movie, really?
I don't know. I have no idea. It makes sense that it was a play. I have no idea.
Yeah, I bet it was a play first. I bet it was on Broadway before the movie, and then went back.
How much do you want to bet?
Three $2 bills.
Do you have them?
$6. Yeah,
You have them?
yeah,
They're in your possession.
yeah.
Well, what if I can't give you $2 bills back?
Oh, how about dollar coins? Got any of those?
No, of course I don't have dollar. What?
Susan
I
B.
mean, I guess I
Anthony.
could get some. What am I looking up? Little Shop of Horrors. Somehow I ended up
Yeah.
on. So Charles B. Griffith is where I ended up.
Look, here's a bunch of my dollar coins. If you ever come over, this thing's got it's filled with them.
Well, you're giving up your stash, dude. Also, that
I,
bottom is open; they can just fall out.
I know it's like they're like wedged in a way that they don't fall because it didn't come with the bottom.
It's just a cork. Just any cork will
Oh,
do. See, they fell. I knew it.
I think that's the secret to how Minnie got her start in the entertainment industry. I saw the bottom of that thing. Sorry. I'll put me on mute. I'm done.
Well, no, it was a great joke. Minnie's a whore, and I'm just scrolling through this guy's IMDb. Okay. It was a 1960 movie, and then they
oh
remade
yeah,
it. It was directed by Roger Corman, believe it or not.
yeah, and also somebody big was in it.
It was probably fucking Jerry Lewis, right?
Yeah, yeah, I think it was. He was the dentist.
Let's see. Jonathan Hayes. I don't know who that is.
He was
Uh,
probably the scarecrow. You know what I mean?
well, Jonathan Hayes was Seymour. No, I don't see any names that I know in this. Jack Nicholson's in it. Hmm.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
What do you mean that's right? Like you knew all of this?
I
You
don't.
just found out that it existed. I just told you about it.
I know when we were talking. I worked on a documentary and they wanted to use a bunch of these things, and so I didn't know about it till then. He's like, let's use, how he was because Jack Nicholson was a dentist, right?
Well, I don't know. His name is Wilberforce. Do you know them by name?
No, I don't.
No,
Yeah,
he
he was the masochistic dental patient. So he was but I've seen that scene a bunch. I haven't seen the movie.
it just feels like it was a play. I just can't imagine a world where this movie just like comes out and it's like, yeah, we're cool with this. Like, let's do a weird fucking thing where a plant like wants to eat people and also there's music. What? And then the 80s one is everyone's favorite movie and it's so gross. I need to find out what's the
Film
plant's name?
first. It was a 1960 film. Then it was 1980 early 80s off Broadway, and the 86 movie was more based off of the off Broadway play than the original movie. Even though,
Was the original movie even a musical?
oh, that's a good question.
What's the plant's name? Is it Mushnick?
Seymour. No,
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 Feed
Seymour.
Me
Audrey
Seymour.
too,
Seymour.
because that
What?
chick's name was Audrey, so it was Audrey too.
Oh, there you go. You're right. Good.
The plant?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Levi Stubbs is the voice. He's from the Four Tops.
Really?
Yeah. Feed me, Seymour. I just didn't like his voice. I mean, nothing against the Four Tops. The Four Tops are fucking, they jam, dude. I get it.
dude, listen to this. The cult movie was famously shot in 2 days.
Holy shit!
That's nuts.
I don't believe that. There's no way. With puppeteers and shit? Or the 1960s one?
The 60s one.
Oh, well, that I can believe.
The Roger Corman, yeah, they did it in 2 days. Holy shit. So there's no way it was a musical, the first one.
No, not if they shot it in 2 days. Man,
$28,000.
I got bad Beatles in my head because I just put on there's like a documentary that just follows around the Beatles like when they first came to America, you know? It's
Okay.
like 1964 or something, and all their music sucks at that time, you know, because it's like
It's just the happy early shit.
it's just like she loves you, yeah, 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 and stuff. It's like corny for a kid who grows up in the 80s, you know? Just like this is corny as shit. I like Poison. But then they got good, like then they got better or whatever. But you know, in the beginning, it was just them like doing their version of rock and roll, which at the time was just like Elvis and like a bunch of black people. So anyway, the whole point of that is like, have you guys seen that? And if not, that's why She Loves You, yeah, 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 is in my head, and I don't know what
Well,
to
I
do
have
about it.
not seen it. And it's almost like I feel like I need to watch that, but because the other one that I haven't seen also is like the extreme opposite, where it's like 20 hours of them just recording.
The one that came out pandemic times that was like a four-parter.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that one called? It was just them in the studio trying to figure out their album.
Yeah. And they're like live writing amazing songs. What if you did this right here?
I know. And they're so close. Like so many times they're so close because you know how it ends up and you know it's really good. And they're like, there's a lady in the lake. And you're like, no, those aren't the words. Stop. Do the regular words. What do you guys think of the Beatles in a retrospective sense?
I'm a fan. I like them. I'm a big fan. I dig it. I don't care if it's corny. I like how it sounds. I don't know. I'm a fan.
Well, what type of music do you listen to currently?
Uh, I just watched a bunch of No Effects stuff. I like 80s punk and underground hip hop stuff, weird classic
And
rock.
nah.
Yeah.
That's the worst. You're talking like punk pop, right? Like
No,
fucking
Social Distortion.
okay.
Well,
Do you
No
like Bad
Effects thing
Religion?
started in like 83.
Do you
So
count
it's
Willie's
Bad
into
been,
that
Religion as
stuff.
pop
Yeah.
punk?
I would say like Good Charlotte and all that. I tuned out. I don't listen to any of that stuff. Any of the like Blink 182 or
Well,
any of
but
that
Blink
stuff.
182 is really good.
I know. I know. But
What's
What do
Bad
you?
Religion? What was their main thing?
Oh, I mean, they were very political.
they they popped again with some of their songs on Guitar Hero. Don't Take Me for Granted. 20th Century. I don't know.
21st Century Digital Boy. Yeah,
Soldier
that one.
Boy.
But
Yeah.
the early stuff, I mean, they're very. If Rage Against the Machine was a pop band, punk band, I mean, early on, because all their stuff is completely.
Yeah, but
They're
I don't care. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off. Did you want to finish? It's political.
I don't care about the lyrics either. I think that they have a really great tight sound. You know how like you could say like Pantera and Metallica are like fucking tight. They have a really tight driving sound because like they have like multiple guitars playing the same shit. And you're like,
Okay.
oh fuck, this sounds deep.
I'm gonna just play one for me here. This is
The
the
lead
best of.
singer, sorry,
No,
Greg
no.
Graffin is a professor at USC. I don't know
What in
exactly.
what?
I don't know. I don't. It's in Google. I'll check it out.
Do you think it's in music or do you think it's in like politics
History
like
or something.
social history?
Let me see.
Oh, I know Bad Religion from the Tony Hawk skateboarding
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
I'm not into it. I don't know. I don't know.
And
Absolutely.
it's funny. I feel like most of my favorite shit is like against the grain, like they're one of their famous albums. It's just like, like we were playing basketball. I'm like, anybody want to go to a drum and bass show with me? Because like I can't find another person to go with me. And nah, nobody did. I'm like, I get it. I didn't think so.
He got his PhD in zoology from Cornell, and he's taught at University of California, UCLA, and Cornell in evolutionary biology and Darwin's theory of evolution.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, he like I don't if he needs a YouTube channel, it would be how like comparing the evolution of humanity to the evolution of music and at which point
Ooh,
each
that's good. That's fun.
that would be fun to
Did
learn,
did
right?
you like the? Well, I'm gonna go back for a second. What do you think of the Beatles, Wade? What's your favorite
Oh,
era?
well, corny and kind of lame, and their hair sucks, and I don't like that girls scream. No, no. Yeah, I don't like the early Beatles stuff, but I also don't know what's the early Beatles stuff and what's not. If you played me any corny Beatles song, I'd be like, well, that must be early because I hate it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the early stuff is just the classic uh repetitive American song, which people still don't believe is a repetitive, where you just have like an opening, a bridge, a chorus, and just like that formula. And so they're like 2 to 3 minute long. We do the chorus like three times. And so like I love early Beatles because I listened to them too early. And then their later stuff I love too because it's so intricate and has so many changes in it. Like this is the same fucking song. Like it's like each song is like a whole story.
Well,
I mean that's a lame description, but I'm just saying like I personally I like changes in music because but like to have change you got to set up a base. That's why I like electronic music for me. Like I'm like, well, you got to get through the first like 12 measures because they're
no,
setting up the
no.
12 measures of
See, I
what's
don't even
normal.
understand how you can make that statement because every drum and bass song is the exact same. And you can listen to like hours on end. You can go to a rave and listen to 4 hours of drum and bass. And if I was standing there, I would be like, this is the longest one song ever.
But here's the thing, dude. For me, I love listening to all most electronic music, not on anything, but like if you go to a show, there's so much fucking bass that like it's like it's a different experience listening to it at home. I'm like, it doesn't even count
I
listening at
just
home to me. I'm
wonder,
saying for
like,
me, I have to go to a
no,
show.
entirely. And I don't feel like that would move the needle for me at all. Like, getting based out is not something that I'm like, I was thinking about like the Beatles, right? And I feel like music to me, like I don't care about lyrics until I actually like a song, and then I'll listen to the lyrics. But up until then, I'm not gonna like a song that doesn't sound good because they're like fuck the president or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
If it doesn't make me feel like if it doesn't make me feel anything, I'm just like fuck it. What I'm done with that. And like no punk has ever made me feel anything.
The one thing I like about, I guess, NoFX and also Social D is they're, for being a punk band, they're melodic, like their actual riffs and stuff like that. And yeah, that like technically put together. Even though Fat Mike, the lead singer, is like huge into drugs, he's a great. Like I like his. There's one song. If you look up "The Decline" by NoFX, it's a 17-minute punk song. And Willie, like what you were talking about, it has, I think, 17 different. It like 17 different parts of the song. So it's one really long song with one narrative, but like it's a bunch of different, it sounds like different songs, but it has a beginning and an end. So it's kind of like a long story. And then you can truly say that you hate it. I mean, I know you hate it. You like, I really hate it after I listened to 17 minutes of that.
Is it the decline? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I got a live decline. I'm just gonna scroll through it here real quick. I will say I do like the voice of the Social Distortion guy.
Very like kind
Oh,
of
this is
whiny. A lot of punk singers, I guess, have that like, yeah, I like it.
it's just so oh man. All I picture when I hear a NoFX song is like the extras from Clueless, like the male extras from Clueless, just like with big chain wallets and like giant pants, you know?
Jinkos.
Yeah, and I can't. I just like that is not my scene, man. I'm like such a grunge dude that stuff just like repulsed me.
Yeah.
And like, what's with all the energy? I know it's for teens, but like, God, it's so much. That I just like. Also, I'm a drummer and I'm listening to it. And it's like, and I'm like, fuck that. Like, I could never. Like, how do you even do that shit?
I know, dude. I wish I could play punk drums. Like, just can't.
You just have to do a bunch of speed, really. I mean, it's just you just have to. Everything is like fucking 240 beats a minute, and it's just like, I just don't know what you get out of it. Is it rage? Like, what do you get out of it? What's the emotion?
I don't know. My is one of those things. My older brother turned me on to them, so I just had enough of it going around the house. Where like I just became a fan. I
You
think
just got
rage, like
indoctrinated.
yeah, yeah. With a lot of my music, like my mom took care of the classic rock, the Creedence Clearwater and Zeppelin into me, and my brother did with punk and hip hop.
And then what did you discover on your own? The underground hip hop or no, that was your brother as well.
Most underground came from Colorado State days. My neighbor was producing. He actually brought ODB to Fort Collins. I think like 2 weeks before he died. He died like in New York City or something. So he played one of his last shows. But
Was it James?
yeah, with the red hair, tall guy.
Wow, yeah, dude.
Yeah, I used to promote shows for him. That's how I got into all that music, through him.
Yeah, I only know him from going to raves. Like, I didn't even know him. I just have seen him at so many raves.
Yeah, he was
Wait,
friends with my neighbor, and that's how I got into all that stuff.
Old Dirty Bastard played Fort Collins like 2 weeks before he died.
Yep. Maybe
Whoa.
Starlight.
Yeah, well, it seems like
No,
it would have been
fucking love the
Starlight. That was the
Starlight,
only place
dude.
I ever saw any sort of bands with names, you know. Otherwise, it was just like our friends'
They had
bands and shit.
Tuesday drum and bass night too, back in
Oh
the
my God, Willie,
late
shut up
90s.
about drum and bass. Well, that was my question. We do have to end the episode, but like, what do you get? What's the emotion that you get out of drum and bass?
Not any sort of, I mean, like, it makes me dance, dude. It's like
So happiness.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, that's cool. I get no happiness out of it. I get misery
Me too.
and repetitiveness. All right, let's wrap it up. We're gonna continue the conversation on our main show. Willie, do you want to tell us? Do you want to give us a little teaser?
Yeah, we are talking about, was Mars nuked? Did Mars have a nuclear explosion back in the day, like millions of years ago?
All right, great. So stay tuned for that. We're going to continue with our friend, go to his website, Belly Laughs Comedy, Belly Laughs, plural, comedy.com. Amir Yaz. Yeah, I don't know. You don't have any shows coming up that you want to promote or anything like that?
Nothing right now. I wrote during the pandemic, I wrote an illustrated children's joke book called Belly Laughs Jokes for Kids. And the only reason why I want to plug it is I give all the proceeds to the Hydrocephalus Association. It's a charity that I've been working with. So that's my passion project.
I don't want to diminish your charity, but is that where people have something with water happening wrong in them?
Yes, water on the brain, like an accumulation of brain fluid in the head.
Okay.
So I was born with that condition. There's no cure for it. The only treatment is brain surgery. So yeah, I could talk for hours on that.
Did you have brain surgery?
7 from
Whoa,
8.
You buried the lead, man.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that later. Let's talk about it on the more. Let's get into like some real fucking like, because that's like a perfect thing to talk about. Like, because they're tinkering with your brain, and you're like, what's reality? You know? Don't you think? If anyone tinkered with my brain, I would be like, what's reality now? What did they change?
I did have a friend of mine in 8th grade. I had 1 surgery in 7th grade, 2 in 8th grade. And a friend of mine said, I don't know if he was joking or not, but he said after my 2nd surgery, he said, something's different with you, man. So like, I don't know.
Wow.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about that on the more sci-fi. But in the meantime, let's talk about Mars getting nuked on the regular show. Hey, thank you everyone for listening, and thank you for being a Patreon. And Willie, we should end it, and I will start the ending phrase now. Keep your eyes on the skies.
And on your back.
No, watch your back. Watch your sky. Watch the sky. Here it is. Don't forget. Keep watching the skies.
And watching your back.
Yeah, right? That's it. We've flubbed it every time since we started it, but I think that's good. That's good.
Real life.